into. We've got 5 lights, and eventually away we go. As Popo looked like he got a pretty good start. He certainly leads into the first corner. Speedy got a very good one as well. He's looking down the inside, but braking later on the outside as Astro Boys, and down the inside goes Bailey and shoves Popo to the outside there. That wasn't very friendly from Bailey at all, but he does lead the race as further back Speedy in second place. And the two Ferraris very close together there as well. Everyone getting through at the moment over. A bit of contact between the two of them. They were side by side. As again, letting it up the inside and almost snagging the back of Popo there was Jensen, but like having all sorts of issues. Oh, and spinning into the wall. Oh, and hitting the wall was push. Yeah. Oh, and Light Cruiser and Bant. Light Cruiser went to defend, and Light Cruiser sent one down the inside anyway, and he's gone wide. He's going to lose another place.
For the lunge down the inside on the championship leader. Astro Boys has passed into P2. Well, they're still side by side into the S's right hand and next, and Speedy's got the inside. Will they run side by side through the S's? Will this go well? Oh, and Speedy kind of yields to Astro Boys'
position. He's got plenty of battery to do it. Down the inside he goes into the hairpin. Danny also gets the move done. Yeah, it also gets the move done on Jensen, so good stuff from him. Oh, Jensen around the outside though, of the right-hander. Clean racing between the two of them.
Astro sends it on Speedy as well, and that was a dream one, but Speedy's going to get a comeback, I think. Or is he?
Yep, he is.
Yes, he's got.
Yep, it might well make a difference. Oh, a spinning is Bant! What happened there? Bant spinning in the S's and into the wall. Accidental. These three are going to be all together now into the hairpin. Speedy down the inside. Bailey trying to hang on around the outside. Still side by side between the two of them. Speedy looks like he's got a nose ahead, but not enough ahead to take his line. And Bailey manages to cut him off for the time being. Speedy's still on the inside though, and he can take the line away now, and he does so, and they're still going to be side by side here.
Yeah, they are, and Bailey's got the shorter line. He's got to squeeze it by a man, then oh, they leave each other. They are so close to each other. Don't fall down onto their hands. Down the inside of Bailey Johnson goes Jensen. Speedy trying to cut it wide, and but Bailey's still hanging on. Jensen's on it. DRS and side one into front tyre. Jensen
Yep, and still side by side on exit. Down the inside goes Bailey of the right-hander. And again, very close racing between the two of them. Jensen squeezes through. Bailey sends one on the inside though. That was a risky move, and he parks it on the apex as well, so that Jensen can't get the. Oh, and again, Jensen gets a very good run out of that left-hander, and down the inside he goes into the hairpin once again. Still side by side, and they're going to be side by side again on the exit. It's like an action replay of last lap. Bailey is going to get the slipstream here, though. There is enough of a slipstream at that range to be effective, as he sends one down the inside and cuts his line off on the exit as well, but pushes Jensen wide. He doesn't have any, right? Down the inside, and he does exactly what Bailey did to him last lap. That was, what's happened to Vasco Dino? He's been overtaken by Triton. I saw the yellows and I saw him go down a position. Oh, and spinning! Speedy spun! Speedy spun! What happened there in the penultimate corner as Smeltino retires? Yep, here he goes. Yep. Down the inside into the hairpin. Does make good stick.
In Austin, after arguably the best SLR race so far, the Dutchman is on top, and Jensen takes victory in Austin, Texas. Hello and welcome everyone
to the 20th round of the 3rd season of SLR. And I have a stream up, so that's professional, I'm sorry. Okay, now you can hear me without an echo, that's great. I am Thimo, and you might know me as, you know, the guy who always shouts into Tara's commentary. But Tara's not there today. He's off to Florida to see his family, and that egomaniac is just gonna leave me alone with the championship at 2SRL, and that's very sad. Anyway, I've decided to replace him with Joel for today, and he's alongside me joining me.
Hello.
And also, we've got a 3rd man coming in soon, but he's been off playing football, and obviously the race here is a bit earlier than usual, and I should turn off all notifications. I'm clearly very well prepared here. I'm sorry for the black screen, folks. Yeah, Jensen's gonna come in. He's been playing football, and the race is a bit earlier than usual because of the Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying. The actual Brazilian, not the actual one, the real life one no one cares about. Meanwhile, we're here at in F1 2019 in SLR, and the qualifying session is on, and people have already been trading lap times. At the top, we have not Bailey, Speedy, our championship leader, up by 14 points, if I am correct. 2 rounds to go, and he is like 2/200ths of a second up on his teammate Popo Gamer, who, of course, you might remember, you also saw the highlight clip earlier, took pole in Austin, Texas. So Popo is on the front row for now. That's interesting.
Yeah, Popo has had really good qualifying pace recently, but it's consistency that matters in the race, and his starts haven't been too good, but we'll see what he can do today. There's Bailey's now on his outlap. See what he can do.
I will go on board with Bailey then and watch him a little. I think you're bringing up a very good point here. Last time we saw Popo on pole, and then he kind of got swamped early on. Bailey with a massive... I think Bailey did a massive dive into turn 1, and then Popo got kind of swamped, and then to add... to make it even worse, he also had issues with his hardware and dropped further down the order with frame rate issues and freezes, so he... you don't move while your screen is frozen. So that's what happened to him. Let's hope he can bounce back today, and so far it looks good for him. As we go on board with Bailey Thompson, is now heading out on the corner. I will not even bother trying to pronounce because it's gonna be a mess. So, the first corner, obviously, the Sanesi is going to try and brake late here. See, he broke at the 50, now trying to get it hooked in for the first corner. You need to be careful here because there's invalidations lurking. I think he really threaded the needle very nice and kind of to be expected. Now out on the straight into turn 4. Mediocre overtaking opportunity here. Now he turns in 4th gear, and now the track goes into it's kind of technical, narrow section, but it's still quick even though it is narrow and technical. Sweeping right-hand up-hander, right. Uphill corner, right-hander. Now we go into the more twisty, tight section. NJJ getting out of the way, fortunately, here for Bailey. So now, nothing happening here. Basically, a carbon copy of the last right-hander is this right-hander before we go downhill into the final corner. You cannot cut on this game, or extend on this game, unlike in iRacing. And that looked like a very good lap. I'm not an expert on anything, on being quick at Brazil. I'm not the authority, but I think it was good, and the time's gonna show if it is gonna be good. He comes across the line and he takes provisional P2. Oh, that's so close. He's right close. Between. Wow.
Yeah. We know that Speedy, though, has got at least a few more tenths under his belt. Don't know about Bailey, but I'd assume he does too. So that's the first runs over with, as others are on their runs as well as Triton. Let's past Danico, who is finishing his lap. He's 5 tenths up, and that would actually put him on provisional pole. So watch Danny on this lap coming across the line now.
Yeah, he's about to pass the pit wall, and the line is coming up, and it is P4. Okay, still pretty close. It's less than 2/10 of a second. Good lap from him. Yeah, you taught me, right? You told me earlier off stream that you know that Speedy has got more tenths under his sleeve. What did he say? What lap time?
He had a 7.7 just before this. He did a quali sim.
That's like almost 9/10 quicker than he goes now. I don't know if like track conditions, it looks pretty overcast here. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely can go quicker. I think that's also a good point. Or, now, people are on the laps. We're going to talk about the championship after. No,
Yeah.
Popo's not on a lap anymore. Danico has just finished his... And they're clearly not on a lap.
Milo.
Bance is on a lap. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
at his final turn, then we can have a look at Kirst to see how he's doing. Bance, oh, that was a mighty slide. Imagine he's not gonna be happy with that. Strategy's also not quite an interesting one, but it gets interesting if you consider that we've got Icewind and Tipsy both setting times on mediums, even though this track is like the easiest soft to medium I've ever experienced. So
Yeah.
now it's Kirst.
Yeah, coming through this long left-hander. It feels like it's going on forever. Yellow flag in sector 2. I don't know where that's from. And you want to avoid the curb here and be really careful on the throttle. You don't want to spin out here. It's very easy to do. Coming to the penultimate corner on the lap, trying to get on the power as early as possible to get the best run down onto the main start finish straight as he's going to come across the line now, opening DRS as early as he can in overtake ERS. Keeps to the right-hand side, interestingly, goes 13th last at the moment. That wasn't a very good lap from Milos. I'm sure he can improve on that.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that, but, I mean, it's a short track that adds into it, but he's only a second off of the top and he's still last. But he's also behind OceanChief. He's not going to be happy with that, but OceanChief deserves a little, like, he deserves a little love today and also a good result because it's his birthday. I think he's turned 41 now?
41, yeah.
41.
Tipsy, speaking of old people, has crossed the line.
We're
on
good to
P7.
Yeah, great effort from him. I fought him in Tier 2. He was not that quick because I was able to beat him on track, but he told me that during the race he found some time, so I won't even have a chance on Sunday. I mean, that's the smack talk he usually gives you, but judging by his past performances, I tend to believe him, and this P7 is kind of feeding into that narrative. I think Tipsy is speedy today. Haha. Anyway, this is where I want to bring up the championship. And sorry for the black screen here. That's where we are at right now. Technically, I mean, it's 2 races to go. We're at Brazil. Brazil was where the championship was decided last time, but it was also the finale. Obviously, Copy took that. And Speedy can technically win the championship today. He has to win if Bailey finishes 4th or lower. So like, yeah, you can see in this graphic, Bailey needs to finish 3rd or higher to keep the championship alive. If Speedy gets P2, Bailey must finish 7th, and P3 for Speedy would make P8 necessary for Bailey. Do you think, I mean, what do you think? How realistic is it that we're going to see our 3rd champion crown today? Do you think there's a good chance? Because Bailey's been very rapid recently.
Yeah, but I still think there's a good chance. You know, it could only take one incident going into the first corner. And with Popo in the mix as well, with his recent qualifying pace, that could happen. And it just takes one driver, you know, to have a good race and get into P2 between Speedy and Bailey.
Yes, that's totally true. I think I agree with you. We saw last time out in Brazil, that was what I was hinting at earlier. Season 2 was quite a season finale. We had 4 drivers still in it at the last race. It was Copy, Ghetto, and Astro Boys and Triton, all still with mathematical chances. And then, like, I thought it was gonna be a very exciting race, but then Astro Boys didn't show up and Ghetto and spun in turn 1 because it got crashed out, and then Copy just dominated the race and took the championship. Was a thrilling championship, but Brazil is a very narrow circuit, as I've already said, and that means there's not a lot of room to run side by side, so collisions can happen, and especially the centers is very easy to collide.
Yeah, Popo up into P2, so the 2 Toro Rossos leading the pack at the moment with 4 minutes left in this session as the drivers come back to the garage. to get ready for their final runs. It's a very short lap around here, so you can fit 4 runs in, but they only have 3 sets of tyres. That's not really worth it.
I don't know. I think it might be worth it in my Tier 2 race. I dragged my fresh, soft tyres for 17 out of the 36 laps, so like almost half distance. And I didn't really have an issue. I was at like 50%. I'm not necessarily very nice to my tyres anyway. I think you can afford having one run on slightly worn tyres, so you can go for softed. And it kind of looked a bit... I thought it was gonna start to rain here, but that was me being a very keen observer, lol.
I don't know what you were doing with your tyres then, but I was 60% after like lap 13.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Did you have a spin? Or like...
I did.
Or like anything? Really? I mean, I'm really not a tire magician. In career mode, I always...
did have a spin, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in career mode, I always fail the tire programs massively, and then Tara comes to laugh at me. And now we can laugh at him.
He's about to
Oh, that's
join
good.
now because he's just joined the game.
Oh, that's great. So we're gonna be 3 in the commentary box. The more the merrier, at least, as long it's not being too many. That was a great rule if it doesn't work. Anyway, so everyone's preparing for their final runs. Pretorius is on one, isn't he? I don't know.
No, I should hope not.
No. I just went on board. Yeah, you're right. I hope this is not his run. Anyway, yeah, Speedy has put in a very good lap, an 8.1, and so far it looks like Bailey won't be able to match him, but I've said it multiple times over the past. Speedy more the qualifier than the race in comparison to Bailey.
Yeah.
And I've got a Steam message which I can't really look at. Well, I guess it's gonna be Jensen, isn't it? Yes, it is. Jensen is here. Can you maybe like send him an invite if he doesn't have one? Because I cannot.
Yeah.
That's great, thank you. Really good time by Speedy. I know, I mean, Speedy tends to be rather worried about the pace of others. Oh, Icewind puts it in P2, and that's a great time from Icewind. He was on mediums beforehand, wasn't he? So that's probably why he came out of nowhere here, but his pace has also been rapidly increasing over the season, and now he's a proper front running in P2. Go on.
It's Jensen here, I think, now.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I've invited you now.
Hello,
Jensen.
Mr. Jensen.
Ah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we're in qualifying, it's a minute to go, and people are setting themselves up for their final runs, and now you have joined. Of course, you couldn't join earlier because a young Brit drank Fanta out of a boot. So, you know.
yeah.
For everyone who doesn't know what I'm referencing, Bailey Thompson, on the screen now, starting his lap, going into the center S. He did a shoey. Oh, and he messes that up royally. I don't think he's gonna improve on that lap.
No, there's a massive drift going into turn 2.
Yes, and it's not abandoning it yet, but like that wasn't great. And he might actually be in P5, so that could actually give Speedy could put Speedy in the position to really challenge him for the championship here. I mean, like already in this round to close it out.
As Popo in Sector 1 is already up nearly by 2/10 only in Sector 1. So if you can keep the lap together, it could put him on the front row easily.
Oh, he abandons.
Ah.
What was that? Was that a freeze? Just... I don't know. That's interesting. Speedy is on a final run though. Icewind retires, so he's out of the equation. Now Popo has to get out of the way of Speedy, and Speedy massively overshoots that one. I think that might actually be an invalidation, but he keeps on going, so I assume it's not. How's Bailey going? Bailey is coming across, or not quite. He's on the start-finish thread, and he's gonna come across now, and it is nothing because he rams the wall out of frustration, so it's P5 for Bailey. If the qualifying was the race result, Speedy would be champion, but, you know, Bailey is very good in races.
Danny
like
goes 2/10 up.
P4.
Like Cruiser puts it in P4. Danny Coe on the back of Speedy, and Speedy has abandoned by the looks of it because Danny is very close to him.
He's giving him some slipstream, and he's 2/10 up.
He is.
past
Danny
Bailey as well.
hugging the wall. P4. Bailey down to P7. He's in trouble. Popa is obviously not nailed this run. OceanChief is across the line. So this is your starting grid for this Brazilian Grand Prix. And Speedy's got it all to lose at this point because he's in a prime position to take the championship already. But if not taking the championship, then at least to give himself a buffer that's big enough that he can claim it in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you know, my little calculation's always been there's 14 points, 2 rounds. The margin of points you get for being victorious over someone who's P2 is 7 points, and Bailey Thompson would win the tiebreaker. So if Bailey won the last 2 and Speedy came second in the last 2, Bailey would win the championship. But if Speedy's not gonna, if Speedy's gonna beat Bailey today, then that is an entire different case.
Fastest lap comes into it as well. So
Yeah.
we'll keep
And
an eye
I
on it.
made a little Excel spreadsheet with what Speedy needs to become champion, and what Bailey needs to be still in contention. Bailey needs P3 with fastest lap at the least.
With fastest lap.
Yeah, if Bailey gets third place with fastest lap, the difference is 25 points between them if Speedy wins the race, and Bailey gets third.
Oh.
And there are 26 points to get at Abu Dhabi still.
Yeah.
So that's what he needs at least.
Yeah, so, you obviously weren't there, but Joel made a very nice graphic about exactly
Okay.
that. So, but we didn't
Nice.
factor in fastest laps, so that's something to consider as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's interesting. I don't
I'm
know.
showed. So we need a 27-point gap to Speedy at the end of this race to win the championship.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, if Speedy wins it and Bailey gets third place without the fastest lap, Speedy is champion.
And Speedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty
25
interesting.
and 15. 10 points. No, because that would make the gap 24 points. Because there'd be a 10-point difference between them.
But I mean, yeah. No, 11.
Yeah.
If Speedy wins and Bailey doesn't get the fastest lap, then there's a 10-point difference here, right? And then we are at 24. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, I made a miscalculation then.
That's great.
Never mind.
That's all we brought you in here for. You.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
so,
failed already.
he's gotta get the boot.
Yeah.
Again, Milos starting from the back of the grid 2 weeks running.
I don't know what's going on with him. Oh, he almost.
No, I
wins all
think
the
he
formation
disconnected in the session.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I think so.
OceanChief's. No, he's definitely driving. I don't think AI drives like that. I wasn't meant to be a dick. OceanChief, let's hope he can get some luck today. Also, Pretoria is very far down the order. Tipsy in P11, a place you normally like to be in, but like at this track, the tire, at least in my experience, the tires don't really die. I don't know how it looks with you. Maybe Jensen can give us some insight. Like how long would you think one can drag soft tires? Because I managed to do it for 17 laps, but Joel told me that his tires were dead at like 14 or something.
Well, what I think, I did a small race stint as well. I think the optimal window to go to the medium tire will be lap 14 or 15. I think that's the point where the medium tire actually is faster. You can actually drive the soft tires for 17, 18 laps if you want. But then you will lose time because you will get undercutted.
Okay. So how much percent do you have at that optimal point? Like 45 or 40?
Around 50, I think, on lap 14 or 15.
Okay, I had 50 at 17, but that's interesting then.
It's a driver style
Also, I mean,
as well.
I think it might have also been Astro setup, but Astro setups doesn't matter now because we've got our lights on for the penultimate round of Season 3. SLR, not to Sorrel, we go, and it looks like it's been a good launch from Speedy, hasn't it? Icewind already on his inside, never mind, Speedy's cleared him already. Danny Co further down the order has a look on the inside, and it looks fairly in order for the moment.
Bailey gets one position.
Yeah, Bailey's already up on Triton, and now he's on the back of Light Cruiser. I don't think... No one is able to attack Speedy, so Speedy is comfortably in front,
Bailey
and Bailey on the inside. And
Yeah,
Bailey's
on the
got
inside of Light Cruiser
Sorry.
there. Turn 4. And as we see, lots of the cars obviously still in the train after not even the first lap yet, but Bailey up into P5, 2 positions after the first 5 corners.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he needs, of course.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, we knew he could overtake well, and he also had that heroic start in Austin. That was not the cleanest one, but he also gained lots of positions off the start there, off a rather poor qualifying. So we knew he could do it, and he did it again. He's up into P5, and now he's got a little more work to do. He needs to clear Danico and Popo, but his goal won't be to stay in the championship. His goal will be to win the championship, so he needs to do even more than that. Speedy with a obviously fastest lap as he's still leading the race.
So if he does come P3 and Speedy P1, that would be Speedy champion, wouldn't it?
No, for P3 it wouldn't, if there's no fast laps involved, but that would mean that Speedy needs to get P9 in the next race to be champion. And I think Speedy can do that, man of his talent.
Ooh, Danico, massive moment,
Danny!
and Bailey is passed.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there to him, Daily.
He got too much on the curb and his rear just snapped under him, so he had to catch the car.
Yeah, after the poor qualifying, it all looks to be going to plan for Bailey now. The next one out of the way, and now it's on Popo to hold him back, to be the wingman for Speedy. I think they talk to each other in the race on their Discord, so you bet Popo's gonna try and give Bailey a hard time. Because, I mean, he's gonna want Speedy to win the championship as his teammate, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Light Cruiser looking very opportunistic behind Bailey, looking to get his nose in. He's got nothing to lose in terms of the championship, so why not have a go at a podium?
Yeah, DRS not in yet, but it's enabled now, so you'll have some on the back straight here coming up. Let's see if you can get a good run. Yeah, this straight is just like not too long, so Bailey is okay for now.
You say okay, but I just thought let's check if anyone has any warnings already, and I see Bailey has 2 warnings already.
Oh wow!
And we are just in lap 3.
Yeah, Pretorius dropping a position to Bascadini at the back, and they're actually fighting. And Pretorius is ahead of him. What's going on with Cursed? What is he doing? I mean, we know he's quick. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. He's not too far off the back of these guys, but he should be further up.
Yeah, this is a throwback to Season 1 Cursed, I'm afraid. We don't like Season 1 Cursed. I mean, as a person, of course, but on track it's better to see Season 3 Cursed, who's able to challenge for points and then spin, which is lots better. Light Cruiser kind of overshot turn 1 there, so Bailey now has got a good lap and he can stretch his legs a little. And look up Popo Gamer, he's actually got DRS already. He's gonna try and close that gap. Speaking of closing gaps, Icewind has
And Bance.
Bance past
down
Tipsy.
the inside of Tipsy into turn 4 with the DRS on that straight. He's got that position. I think Tipsy's gonna have to wait to the main start finish straight to try and get that back.
Yeah, nice from him. We know Bance can overtake, but we also know Tipsy can defend. So I'm sure he had to fight for that one. Nice from him coming through the order after having lost a little bit on the start. Icewind is clinging onto the back of Speedy in the meantime.
Yeah, Speedy also collected his first warning. So he needs to be careful as well, of course. I mean, I think when the field is settling down a little bit, I think that point is... we are reaching that point now. The drivers will get more calm and collected and will think about how to approach the rest of this race. I think Speedy only needs to keep it clean and he can surely have this one.
Yeah, I think the two closest drivers on track are right now. Pretorius pushed for P11, but Danico is also rather close to Light Cruiser, so maybe we'll see a move there on Bailey Thompson. Oh, never mind, that was the interval lying. But Bailey is still close to Popo Gamer, and he needs to get past rather soon. Do you know where the guys are getting their warnings?
I haven't seen that, unfortunately. But if I have to guess, it's the fast right-hander where we just went through, where you go a little bit too much over the curb.
Yeah.
It might be turn 4, where you also get a little bit wide over the curb. And of course, I think the main part where they pick up penalties is the Senna S. It's a difficult one to get right.
Yeah, and running wide on the exit of that as well.
Exactly, yeah.
As Icewind now onto the main start-finish straight, is not going to have a chance on Speedy here, but he's getting very close with DRS.
Oh, and Bailey's actually on the back of Toto, isn't he? He's trying it around the outside, and I swear he got a little part of his car alongside the rear of Popo, but it wasn't quite enough for a move yet. So Speedy is going to be worried because Icewind is not letting him off the hook here, and Bailey is definitely not letting Popo off the hook. He's trying to get past, and if Speedy was down to P2 and Bailey was in P3, things would look still good for him, still favourable in the championship, but not as good as P1 and 4, obviously.
Yeah, and Popo just needs to make sure that he keeps the DRS on Icewind. He needs to stay within that 1 second range. He's currently above the 1 second range, so he has some work cut out to not get too much under attack from Bailey.
So both the Toro Rossos then defending from the car behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the hunted today. I think Corsa's not properly driving because he's already dropped 5 seconds to OceanChief. Doesn't even lack a front wing, I don't know.
Yeah, and Popo doesn't have DRS. Bailey might look into turn 1, but he's too far back for now.
Yeah.
Maybe the next straight, if he has a good exit.
Yeah. If he had Astro's OP setup, there would be nothing to resist.
Exit is decent, but I think Popo can defend this one.
Yeah, but he's rapidly getting closer, but the straight is not very long.
Ooh, touch the grass a little bit, Bailey.
Yeah,
Immediately runs wide.
Very sideways. Don't think that's giving you a penalty. NJJ with the first penalty for the race already. We also saw that from Bailey in Austin, I think. I think Bailey got 2 very quick warnings at the start of the race there, and was a challenge from there. But I think he held it together. Where did he finish? P2, right? Yeah. Bailey finished P2 in Austin, behind you.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Meanwhile, what's interesting, I'm looking at the race director, and Bailey has 3 warnings already, but not a penalty. So it must be collision warnings as well. At least one of those 3, because he doesn't have picked up the 3-second penalty yet. Speed is still on 1 warning at the moment. And shout out to Icewind, he's the only one in the top 4 without 1 warning.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
With his driving style, he's been very conservative, not making any obviously rash dives. But speaking of rash dives,
there he
looks
goes.
like he's going to come down the inside into turn 4, and it's Icewind going to take the lead of this Brazilian Grand Prix. He pushes Speedy wide there on the exit. Kurse gets himself a 3-second time penalty, and that is Icewind into the lead, unless Speedy can do something about that.
Yeah, he's brilliant pass. I agree.
And I think I know Speedy a little bit by now. I don't think he's too upset about this, but because he can recharge his ERS for now, just stay in the DRS and recharge and attack later on. He knows it's a long race and he has Bailey behind him, so for him it's all fine for now, I think.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna be a bit anxious about this because it's not a good showing, or like it's not too good for him. Oh, Popo with a lag there.
Popo lagged, yeah.
Right, and now he was almost out of Bailey. I mean, Bailey was almost out of his DRS, and now Light Cruiser sending one down the inside of Danico. Pass for P5, Renault on Ferrari, and it is done. P5 for Light Cruiser. Nice job. Yeah.
But if I look at Speedy, he's already turning his ERS down on the straight with DRS, so he's not in attacking mode for now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to let Icewind get out of DRS range, though.
Yeah, and he can recharge his ERS. I think Speedy will get nervous maybe when Bailey overtakes Popo. Then he might start
Yellows
to think
and Kurse
different.
has retired. maybe he gets points at
So,
Abu
and
Dhabi.
the two McLarens of Poosh and NJJ going side by side into the right-hander.
Ooh.
That really tight one there. They're still going side by side. I'm on board with Taurus at the moment. NJJ trying to hold it round the outside there. He's going to get that done.
Oh no!
but they've
And
crashed.
he slips. The two McLarens take each other out, and they're both
Oh
off
my.
into P13 and 14. Drama for the McLarens. Oh my god, that's gonna be talks after the race. Glad this is only sim racing and there's no actual team owner, because he would be furious.
NJJ's retired, but thankfully Poosh, I don't think, he doesn't look like he has any wing damage. But that collision was very, very hair-raising indeed.
Yeah, I don't quite know what happened. I would have to look at it again, and I'm pretty sure I will have to because I'm an FAA member, and I'm pretty certain this is going to be reported by one of the two parties. Yeah, no happy days at Woking today.
Yeah, and what's interesting to see is that Popo, of course, he lagged out of DRS from Speedy, but Bailey still has difficulties to overtake him. He's close now at the moment, but I don't know. It's going to be difficult, I have a feeling.
Yeah, he's kind of struggling, but the straight is very long, and now he looks very close. I feel like Popo's kind of been backing him off here a little. Now let's see who gets the better run on the straight, and that was definitely Popo, but Bailey with DRS. I'm running on board here, and he's opened his wing. Where will Popo go? Will he defend the inside? Bailey thinking about it. He goes to the outside. Who will break later? Can he swing it around the outside? Maybe. Popo overshoots it a little. They go side by side, and Popo has to cut the chicane. And now he's going to give that place back, I'm pretty sure, because he definitely kept it by going off track. Bailey jumps up into P3, and now Speedy will be worried, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, now Speedy will start thinking about.
Danny also passed Light Cruiser, sorry to interrupt. I only count the tail end of that. The Light Cruiser now with a penalty, and also behind Danny Coe again. Go on.
Yeah, but you can see the effect. Icewind has only 30% of ERS, and Speedy has 73. So I have a feeling Speedy will make his move pretty soon and just try to break DRS as soon as possible, by benefiting from Icewind not having any ERS at the moment.
Do you think it's possible? Oh, and he takes out the 50-meter board. I did that yesterday in quali and not yesterday. In quali and race on Thursday. It's easy to do, honestly. I don't know why no one else did it.
I think it's possible to break DRS, yes.
And he is... he's getting closer and closer. He actually went into high ERS for that. And he's kind of lost a little of his advantage.
Yeah, he's in hot lap now, so he's definitely on the attack.
And this move isn't sealed.
He's going to send it. Easy overtake.
Yeah. Overtakes at this level are never really easy, but yeah, I have to agree. Icewind really didn't put up much
and
of
Bailey
a fight.
must have made a mistake, sorry to interrupt you, because he's almost 3 seconds behind now.
Yes, he went very wide, turn 1.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice catch.
So Popo had the run onto the back straight, but decided to back out.
Okay. So that's gonna make it harder for him. And now Icewind between the two of them. Bailey on the hunt for the championship leader. I wonder, is he gonna get out of DRS, or is it going to be that never-ending circle of you pass him and then you're not getting rid of him even though you're quicker?
Yeah, I mean, what also is a possibility, maybe they haven't discussed it beforehand, but you can of course also work together with giving each other DRS and changing positions every now and then to get more ERS and to drive away as a unit from the rest. I don't know if that's the case here, but it can be a possibility.
That sounds like something people would do in an EGL tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Well, these two guys drove in an EGL tournament.
Yeah, but they didn't drive alongside each other, did they?
That's true. That's true.
And I don't think that's going on here. But I mean, it's both would Well, I mean, I don't think it's like a thing where both of them say, "Okay, let's do this." I think everyone is just like trying to play their hand correctly, and
Yeah.
by both doing that, they are profiting off each other, and you can see it. Bailey is not closing in on the two of them, and that's exactly what Speedy needs now.
Yeah, and Bailey also only has 38 ERS, and Speedy has 60, and Icewind as well.
It's interesting watching Speedy's lines compared to Icewind.
Popo on the attack with the undercut.
True, yeah,
Yes.
he's pitted early. Tries to get back in front of Bailey Thompson. It's lap 13
Could be a
for
good
him.
call.
End of lap
Yeah.
13. So that's that. I expect the others to come in soon. Probably Popo undercut them because he doesn't want to block Speedy, so I expect Speedy to come in next lap.
Yeah, and maybe tactical as well, the two Toro Rossos. Speedy asking Popo to pit to tempt Bailey into pitting earlier, maybe. Could all be mind games, you don't know.
Yeah,
But
that
we're
can,
going back to the
yeah.
lines. Speedy taking very wide lines on some of the corners and taking late apexes back compared to Icewind. Takes more conventional lines. At this corner here,
Oh,
Speedy goes wide quite a lot.
yeah. But Icewind
See.
kind of didn't help your pointer because he overshot that corner and missed the
Yeah.
ERS.
Yeah, that must have been a coincidence.
And now, Speedy's actually pushing hard. He's down to 20% ERS, and he's almost got Icewind out of his DRS, but not quite. So I think he might have miscalculated that. Never mind, it's been his pushing in lap, and he's getting it slowed down. Icewind stays out for a little
Bailey comes in too.
Bailey really conservatively went into the pits. Speedy took a lot more risk and gained a couple more tenths on Bailey.
Yeah, rode on board with Speedy. Definitely wasn't hesitant there. He knew what he was going to do. Quite a decisive braking. Triton is in P2 now because he's staying out for a little longer. Let's Tipsy's also still out. Let's bring up the stops actually. I don't have Twitch set up, but not Twitch chat. YouTube
Oh,
chat
and
up.
Popo gets Bailey.
Oh, Popo gets
That's
Bailey.
exactly what. It's going to be
Oh, they're
close.
running
but
side by side, and there's
Popo
bit
has
of
On the
contact.
outside.
Popo has warmer tires, but
Oh, someone's wrong.
Oh,
Wrong way. That's for
That's
Tipsy.
Tipsy.
And the disaster strikes for the Irishman, but Bailey Thompson's passed Popo, and that's not good for the Toro Rosso squad. I mean, he still held him up a little, but I'm pretty sure Popo hoped he would be able to get in front of Bailey Thompson through that move. He didn't, or he did, but only briefly. And Bailey Thompson has still free roam, and he's right on the back of OceanChief, and OceanChief is probably not gonna give in. I imagine he's gonna be in a voice call with Icewind, so Icewind is probably Icewind has probably made OceanChief his teammate aware of what's going on here.
yeah. And Bescodinho is actually defending from Speedy with overtake mode. Also interesting to see because they don't race each other actually in this race.
And Speedy's going around the outside of turn 1 on Bascadinho here. That was an easy move.
Yeah.
Bascadinho backed out of that one.
Yeah, nice one of him.
Icewind coming out the pits now. He's way behind Speedy.
And just ahead of Bailey, so he's actually
He's got
closer.
the Renault in between them.
Is he closer
Yeah.
to Bailey than he is to Speedy? Popo just ahead of Danico, and he actually had to fight for it. Danico looks like he's not done with this, even though he's in 0 ERS, so I don't know. But Danico may be trying to take down one of the Toro Rossos, knocking him down to P5.
At least I got the soft window right when pitting because I messed up the standings. But
you're not
lap 14 or
useless.
15 is definitely the right window to pit.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
Icewind went one lap later and lost a lot of time.
Something has happened to Popo, I think, whether it was a lag or an error. Because he's now got Danico and Light Cruiser right behind him, and he's 1.7 off Bailey now.
Yeah, it must be lag. I know he hurts a lot from lag.
Bascadinho been passed by Icewind, and that looked like an easy one. And also Speedy has passed Pretorius. I completely missed that. And Pretorius, even though he's normally a quick boy, and I expect him to be a quick boy later this
Bailey,
year.
3
Oh,
seconds.
Bailey!
behind him.
Yeah.
That could cost him, but there's a long way to
Yeah.
go in the race.
Big time. I don't think
Yeah.
this is a particularly hard track to stay on track, he said after getting 5 warnings last time out. But still, yep. Well, I was
Well,
gonna say, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I wanted to say, interesting you say that, because Icewind hasn't even got one warning, so
Oh,
you
wow.
might be right.
Yeah, congrats to him. We know that he's lost lots of good results by getting massive amount of warnings and penalties, but today he's keeping his nose clean, and I think it's gonna pay off. Pretorius, not as quick as I expected him to be. He's already down a pit stop, obviously he's on the slow tires, but normally he's a quick boy. And 20 seconds down, basically, if you take that as a pit stop timer. Later tonight, he's probably going to be challenging for victory in the Assetto Corsa, which will happen after this.
Yeah.
Bailey trying to get past Bascadinho.
Oh, Bascadinho kind of misses his braking point there because he thought he was going to hit Pretorius, but he didn't. And now that sets him up perfectly for Bailey Thompson. So the young Brit is going to go to his inside here. And I don't think Bascadinho is going to put up much of a fight. Yeah, never mind. He's trying it around the outside, but yeah, yields in the end. So Bailey up to P4. If he passes Pretorius, everything is going to be restored. Order's been restored in the universe then.
Yeah, and Speedy played this perfectly. He broke DRS to Icewind. He even has more ERS at the moment than Icewind. So if he keeps it up and stays consistent, he should be quite close to a victory in this race.
And Thimo, people are getting a bit frustrated with you in chat, so I
Oh
haven't said
no, I
anything.
need to put up the tires, don't I?
Kitsune.
Oh, Kitsune, I knew it! I was about to say it, but then I couldn't, and then I thought, if I don't say it, maybe you don't notice. Here's your tires, everyone's on
It
mediums.
As Bailey actually on Pretorius.
Oh, Bailey on Pretorius. Oh, yeah, camera work is great today. Yeah.
Yeah, it took Toto to PM me on Steam for that, so.
For the tires?
Yeah.
No, that's just a meme. They're not useful. Everyone's on mediums, guys. You don't need to see the tires. I'm going to put up the stops again.
And actually, Danico, for actual position, is going around the outside of Popo, who's defending that. But all the time, Popo is falling away from Bailey massively now. He's almost 3
on
seconds
Light
out.
Cruiser, you could just see, I mean, there's barely 2 car widths of space. And this one straight, that would be horror for me. And, Light Cruiser just, like, sticking his nose in, but there's no space to go, so obviously he's gonna get cut off. He's probably frustrated as well. He feels like he can go quicker by the looks of it. And, still behind Danico and Popo Gamer.
Bance got past Triton
Yes, he did,
well.
indeed.
in the middle sector.
Past teammates into Israel for Ferrari Season 1. So they know each other well, and Bance driving a quiet race rather towards the back. Who are your bets on for dying? Because OceanChief is in P11. So who's gonna crash? Oh, Bascadinho and Popo are actually fighting it out right now. And, wait. Oh, right, yeah, Bascadinho hasn't pitted yet, so they have caught up to him, and now Danico is gonna try and take him as well as Light Cruiser, obviously, in the Renault. But I think only Danico is getting the move done as well. Bascadinho might move out of the way for his fellow Dutch compatriot and teammate. Doesn't look like he's trying. Light Cruiser is actually completely out of ERS here.
Ooh, actually hit Light Cruiser a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, you saw it work with the McLaren, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Speedy just only needs to be careful because he's on 2 warnings and Icewind has 0 warnings. If Speedy collects a penalty, he still needs to get Icewind over 3 seconds behind. Otherwise, Icewind might win this race.
Oh no, Popo is lagged out for a second,
Yeah,
and now that he's
another lag.
inside. He's inside Danico. His visibility is going to be absolutely screwed, even though with this camera angle, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
What is going on here? They are still... Oh god. Can Light Cruiser maybe try it down at the inside? Danico takes the inside. Popo game manages to defend from it, so he didn't lose a position to it. It was just like a scare and took away from his pace overall. But he's still in P5, and now Danico is trying it round the outside of Popo Gamer. Can he hang it round the outside? There was a little bit of a contact, I think, but it's all fine. Popo Gamer has been passed. Danico up into P5. Is he released now, and can he drive off into the distance, or is Popo going to play switcheroo and get him next straight?
Yeah, and I feel really sorry for Popo, to be honest, with his leg spikes and his problems, because I think he would be right up there in the top 3 spots somewhere. But unfortunately, he can't because of the leg.
Yeah, I think he would be like around where Pretorius is now.
Yeah, around Bailey maybe as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. He had the pace of Bailey for a long time of the race. And by the looks of it, through the technical section, Popo is gonna try and play a switcheroo game. Puts it in overtake, puts the DRS on, but I don't think he's gonna get close enough. Yeah, he's got less ERS than Danico. You should trail him and like harvest a little. Instead of doing that. Pretorius and Bascadini both pit, and that's gonna be the final pit stops.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he had a good exit, so he can defend it on this straight.
Yeah, he did.
We need Popo to get faster. A bit blatant, but we want a Glock situation here. Get into P3. Come on, I'm not biased.
I think that Benz is on the Glock position right now. It was P7, right?
No, I think it was P5.
Or was it P8?
No, I think it was Lewis needed 5th. So I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Lewis did it. Or didn't Lewis need 4th and he was 5th. Something like that.
I don't remember.
It's that René Bohn. We will never find out. Anyway, Danico 4 seconds off of Bailey now. With Pretorius gone, we can actually see the gap. So the front, like the sharp end of the midfield, has dropped down a little, and Speedy in a commanding lead right now. He's been very worried. I've said that word a lot in connection to him today, but like I heard him on voice, and he thought he was gonna get clapped by Bailey, and it looks like the tables have turned since then, because this is a great drive. I don't want to jinx him. It's not over yet. It's 13 laps to go, but at the moment he's got the strings in his hands, and Triton is past Bans again. Oh, they're actually fighting side by side into the twisty section. Can they make this work? Triton on the inside. Oh, is he? Okay, yeah, he's pulling out. Safer way to go. Oh no, Triton! Yeah,
He
I think
broke himself, yeah.
Yeah, or Bans broke a little early, I don't know.
No, I was on board with Triton. He broke too late and just could avoid slamming into the back of Benz.
Yeah.
It was a perfectly synchronized reaction from the 3 of us.
Yeah, yeah. Also nice.
Yeah, I was running on board as well.
Something has happened to Bailey. He's now 6.3 seconds off Icewind, and Danny is in his DRS.
Well, this is not looking good for Bailey at all.
Yeah, Bailey did a 1:14.7 last lap, while Speedy drives a 1:11.3, so he lost 3 seconds in this lap.
Black with a penalty, I think it's his second one. Am I right?
I can check.
Yeah, thanks for that. So Bailey needs to do more work. I mean, Icewind is going to be very tough to get here, but I think at least one of Danico, Popo doesn't have a penalty, so actually right now Speedy is champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Bailey is on 2 more warnings after his penalty.
Oh, wow.
One warning away from another.
Yeah, Light Cruise is on 2 penalties, indeed.
Yeah, how about Danny and Popo?
Let's take a look. I think Popo had 2 warnings, which he has, and Danny also on 2 warnings.
Oh, Light Cruise and Popo are fighting it out. Oh no, yeah, that's because Popo's had a lag spike.
Yeah.
So he's dropped a lot. Yeah, I feel really sorry for him. I mean, he's quite young. I think he's like 15. And at that age, it's not really too easy to afford a PC who can keep up with what you're trying to get it to do. I know that myself. Been playing on a laptop for the longest time of my life. And I had these issues, not as hard as him. And I feel really sorry because while I was just being bad in general, he could actually be challenging for podiums if there weren't these problems. So that's frustrating as well.
Yeah. And do you guys also see that Icewind can keep the gap on 2 seconds? They have the same pace at the moment, Speedy and Icewind.
Bailey!
And he's on 6
Oh.
seconds, and that
Yeah.
puts him at a massive disadvantage because Danny Co's only on 2 penalties, and he absolutely needs to clear him right now. Speedy's champion, and I did not imagine that it would go down this way. I honestly thought Bailey was gonna win this, and we would get the championship fight in the final round for Speedy and Bailey. But right now, Speedy is doing absolutely everything he can, and it looks like it might actually be enough.
I
Yeah,
think the
and-
best result for... Sorry. go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I think the best result for Bailey at this point is for Icewind to win. That would save him his chances.
Yeah, would do him a massive favor.
Yeah,
Actually,
what-
can you calculate what would happen if Speedy only came second? Like, where would
Yeah,
Bailey need to
Bailey
finish?
P7, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I wanted to say in the meanwhile, it looks
Oh.
like Speedy is sacrificing a little bit of his
Then he's
pace.
actually, and Bailey Thompson's crashed into the wall.
Oh,
Off
no.
he goes. He's
Oh,
collided.
no.
He's collided with Danny Cole. Last race, Speedy cracked. And this race, Bailey Thompson
can't.
cracks. I can't
Yeah.
believe it.
Oh,
Championship is decided, I'm afraid.
Oh my lord. Down
I wouldn't
into
be
P9.
surprised if he retires now because he's got a pit because of his wing.
Oh my god. This
And I
is...
ju- yeah.
It's all gone.
And I just wanted to say that Speedy was sacrificing some of his pace because Icewind is getting closer. Because Speedy doesn't want to get the penalty. But yeah, I'm sure he will get this news as well. And I think he will just start flat out racing again pretty soon now. Now he knows this.
Now it's for the championship again, and Brazil is just like a place where dreams are crushed. It's I feel really sorry for Bailey right now. He's put up a great challenge. He's attended less races because I think he only got a seat after like 3 races or something. And now he's limping back to the pits in P10. And oh, that's painful to watch. I feel so sorry for him.
But yeah, kudos for him for continuing and not rage quitting. That's proper character right there. But yeah, it's unfortunately that it doesn't go down the wire into Abu Dhabi, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, you can't always have a season finale like last time, where you
Yeah.
had 4 people in the championship fight.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, mathematically, Triton was like 23 points off.
Yeah.
But speaking of that race, Copy, I don't think Copy won that one, but he won the championship there, and it's actually been an announcement that Copy is going to come back, so we're going to see our Season 2 champion on the lineup for Season 4 of SLR. So that's going to be very interesting, I'm pretty sure. He's just a massively consistent guy. From what I've heard is that, I mean, not only what I've heard, but also what I've seen, he rarely gets warnings and penalties, massively consistent, and always there to pick up the pieces if you're going to decide to not, like, be perfect.
Yeah, and I think it's also great for guys like Speedy and especially Bailey, because they need to get a stronger competition to aim at something to get better as well.
And Bance and Triton have done it again. By the way, I realized I jinxed Bailey because I said who was gonna die out of the top 10, so OceanChief would get a point. Did I say that? At least I thought it.
You at least asked us who was going to die, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently.
So
it's
yeah,
Bailey.
thanks a lot, Thimo.
I'm sorry, Bailey. Please don't hurt me. Anyway,
Now you have to record a shoey for Bailey.
I was gonna ask. Does this mean now you're going to race the final race just to annoy Speedy, or?
I mean, if the championship is decided, I don't see a point why I couldn't drive if I'm available.
This incident with Bailey has sort of released Popo now to not play the team game anymore, and he's going after Light Cruiser.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating because he's been ahead of both of these guys, and I think he only dropped behind both of these guys because of his PC. But
Yeah.
I mean, he is still quick, and he's got
And-
more ERS than Light Cruiser for sure. Light Cruiser been kind of running low on ERS all race.
And Light Cruiser has the 6 seconds penalty, and Popo has no penalties. So he just needs to stay close.
Danny's still on 2 warnings.
Also on 2 warnings, yes. Danny and
Oh,
Popo.
Light Cruiser attacked the grass a little there, so that might actually be the chance for Popo to get past. And Bailey trying to save his pride a little by getting... Oh, collision between Popo and Light Cruiser. Yeah, he had a look around the outside there, but Light Cruiser was having none of it, and that cost both of them time, and now they are out of the DRS window of Danico.
Yeah.
And now they move... Oh, and they make contact again. Well, this time just because the overspeed of Popo and Light Cruiser was too massive. And, he has passed. Now he needs to chase down Danico for a double Toro Rosso podium. Danico actually picked up the podium last time out as well, didn't he?
Yeah, true. Yeah, the last 2 races, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because
In USA and Mexico.
Yeah, he seems to like the American soil.
What I find more impressive is that Icewind really can keep up with Speedy. Of course, Speedy is taking it a little bit easier now because he doesn't want to get his first penalty. But Icewind still on 0 warnings.
Yeah, that's just like a great performance from him.
Yeah.
This is one of the easiest tracks to not get penalties in my view, because there's like, realistically there's the Senna S, and then, I mean, you've already talked us through it, but I think at like the other places where you can get penalties, you can just avoid it by giving it a little lift or something. So,
yeah, true.
So I think it's, if you really want to, then and you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of pace, it's easy to come home. But still, not getting any, that's massively impressive. And
yeah.
I don't think Icewind has won an SLR race if he's been close multiple times. If he could win this one because of penalties, as we see him going off track, that would be great.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Icewind got 2nd place in Germany, which was a good result for him. But he hasn't won a race this year, I think.
Yeah, and he hasn't last year either, I think. I don't even know if he drove last year. I should know. I've watched all these races. I've commentated on them.
And don't forget, we still have a battle for P3 at the moment.
Yeah, that's true, we do.
I mean, if Danny or Popo gets a 3rd warning, it's decided. So they have to drive fast, and they have to keep it clean. Not very easy task to do.
Oh no! Pushes past OceanChief. So there goes OceanChief's point again.
Okay, let's see if he can fix this by checking if Push has penalties.
I think he does.
Push has 2 penalties, and
Ocean doesn't.
OceanChief only 1 warning, so he's fine.
Okay, he is fine, that's great. I mean, I'm not trying to be partisan here, nothing against Push, but like, you gotta give Chief P10.
Yeah, and it's his birthday as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, if you're... Oh, Popo on Danny, never mind. Oh, that was actually... Was there contact? I think I heard something. Oh, never mind.
Tipsy DNF'd, by the way, in the meanwhile.
Yeah,
unfortunately for him.
Yeah. What I was gonna say... I'm trying to...
Check
Go
the
on.
fastest lap.
Alright. Bailey got it, I'm pretty sure. I saw him do
Yeah,
it.
true. I saw him set it.
They're asking to put it up.
The fastest laps.
Yes.
Oh, people want to know what they have to do. Here's the
Okay,
fastest
so
laps.
we have 2 fights at the moment. It's for P3 and for P6. Benz and Triton still close to each other as well, so...
Yeah. I kind of missed a lot of their action, I'm sorry for that.
And keep an eye on the weather as well. It won't affect strategy now, but it's got very, very dark in the start of the race. It was completely no cloud at the start of the race. Now it's got very dark indeed.
So, no moves between Popo and Danny. I'm gonna put the...
Triton is going to overtake Benz, but Triton has 6 seconds of penalty, and Benz has 0 penalty, so it's...
Side by side through the Senna S.
Not really a fight.
Yeah.
But they will still enjoy this little scrap.
Yeah. To save their honor, and I mean, what do you mean save their honor? P6 and 7 are great position. Oh!
Ooh.
Triton got massively wiggly there. And,
yeah.
But he's still ahead of Pants. So, that was a nice move executed by them. I think we should stay with Popo Gamer and the other
Oh, as he goes wide there, Popo.
Oh, Popo.
Got really loose on the exit, so right cruiser's light cruisers right at the back of him now. Been seeing recently all the drivers are finding it a bit more difficult. Those are the top 7 that are on the old mediums. Been sliding a bit more recently.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I think.
Popo.
Oh, right. Never mind. It always looks so close in TV cam, then you go on board and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, nothing's gonna happen. But, yeah. I think the tires are gonna be fine. You can drag them like 2/3 of the race distance, I would say.
Yeah.
And, oh, there's a penalty for Bransby Triton as 2, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he's still fine for P6. Oh, it would actually be his first finish, because he hasn't actually finished an SLR race since he's got a full-time seat this season.
People are asking for lap times.
Why?
I don't know.
It's
And
just
also people asked if Pretorius has any penalties. He has 1 at the moment. So 3-second penalties for Pretorius.
Yeah, like bands. The fastest laps are pretty useless, and they are like actually hindering me from seeing where's the fight. So I'm not going to put them up. I'm sorry. Who's asking for it anyway? Is it Kitsune?
No, PB Killer 123. Hugo asked for the penalty situation with Pretorius.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Popo with the penalty. So how's that
Oh.
done? That's his first
And
one, isn't
Triton
it?
going for it again into turn 1. Bance has stuck his nose in there. Triton has seen him, thankfully, but they're going to go side by side in the centre S's.
Yellows? Yellows, is someone gonna drop down the order? No. Okay. So, yeah, they are still fighting. Has Bance not opened his wing here? I don't
Yeah,
think he has.
and
Bance is going around the outside now.
Oh, and
Turn
he's
4.
there. That's actually like a great move. He can swing it round the outside, and now the next one's gonna be his because it's the left-hander. He's on the left side of the road, and bounce
You're
up into.
cutting,
I'm
yeah, you're
cutting
cutting out a bit, Timo. Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe that's only Discord, but I don't know a fix to it.
yeah, and what's also interesting to see, Speedy doesn't give a fuck anymore, so to say, about
Okay.
getting a penalty because he knows he will be champion after this race.
I'm sorry, Johnson. You're not a driver. You're not allowed to say that.
Oh, sorry, but he
No,
drove
just sorry.
Icewind to 3 seconds at the moment, so he's.
Popo, round the
he's
outside, turn 1
Oh!
of Danny Co. They almost made contact! And Popo there got really sideways. He's got past Danny. I think he will be the one to have DRS, or will it be? No, it will be Danny, actually. So he's looking to come back at him. He's going to go round the outside like his teammate did the last lap around the outside turn 4. Carbon copy moving what Bance did on Triton. And they're going to go side by side again, and Danny has got that move done, but Light Cruiser now right behind Popo. These 3 are within half a second. It's getting really tasty
Yeah.
for the fight for P3.
You could throw a blanket over them, like Arrow would say. Oh, Speedy has actually lost like a second of time.
Yeah, he lost a second. He must have made a mistake somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can just feel the pain of Light Cruiser because he's so close, but this battle is not going to continue, and Popo Gamer, oh no, he got warped back there, but here is your championship winner by the looks of it. Speedy takes victory in Brazil without a penalty. Icewind P2, fantastic drive, and as soon as Triton's got across the line, it's really officially official. Popo gets P4. Bance is gonna get P6, and Triton comes home in P7, and Bailey Thompson is down in P12, so Speedy is our Season 3 SLR World Drivers Champion. Congratulations. Wow.
Brilliant drive, pole to flag. That's how you're supposed to win a championship.
Yeah, it is. Wow. I mean, that was just a perfect drive, honestly. Icewind gave him a fight, but I don't think there was any proper mistake by Speedy. He picked up 2 warnings, and after that he kept his cool and didn't add on to it. Triton actually drops behind Pretorius here. Basket in your finish. OceanChief gets a point. Happy birthday, OceanChief.
Hey.
And
Bailey.
here comes
slowing
Bailey.
down the line.
And is he gonna do
a reverse over the
donuts?
line?
He's gonna do donuts! Oh no, Bailey! Oh no! Oh, I feel so bad for
Yeah.
him.
But what I said before, massive respect for finishing the race in the end. I know it must have been really painful to spin out and see your championship disappear right in front of you. But he didn't quit. He finished the race, so massive respect for him still.
Yeah. I think we should, like, if you could line up people for an interview, that would be great. I mean, I obviously want to talk to Speedy after this.
Yeah.
But first of all, who are we gonna give driver of the day to? And I mean, I honestly, I feel like it's just like a thing of honor to kind of give it to Speedy. Honestly, I don't think anyone's come through the field or been massively impressive over everyone else. I think
No, I agree with you, to be honest. I see no really impressive things. Of course, some people climbed 6 or 7 positions.
I mean, they were impressive drives. Pretorius also came from like P13, but
I would also give it to the champion.
In a race without any particular standout, wow, look at that guy drive. I think the winner deserves it, and the winner also happens to claim the championship with that, so I would give it to Speedy here as well. Joel, have you got any take?
Yeah, I would agree. It's very consistent drive throughout the season as well. He's been very consistent, and consistency wins you races and championships.
I will see if I can collect Speedy in the meanwhile.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how's the points gap now? Like technically, it's extended by 25 points over the 14 we already had. So if you could do maths now, it would be 39.
39.
And that's actually a pretty good gap.
No way if anyone's going to come into the voice call and gentlemen's lounge.
Yeah. The only thing I'm kind of sad here is that we got a championship that looked so close, and I wasn't able to drop the by our calculations you win by 1 point quote. Mr. Speedy, you are here. You have done it. Actually,
I am champion of the world.
I should have said that.
Yeah, you missed out, I think.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, how do you feel after that? I heard you were like not too sure before the race starts, and now you did I mean, this was a fantastic drive. You kept it clean out of Icewind, who was looking quick, and you took victory and the championship. How do you feel?
Well, apart from my whole left arm / hand being like paralyzed because I don't know, this strike is brutal. My hand.
That's good news for me tomorrow. Continue.
I don't know. Pretty chilled. Pretty happy. I'm glad I won it before fucking. Before.
Your driver, you can say it.
I said fuck as well on the street. Oh, there it is. So sorry, guys. Sorry.
We're all falling apart here.
You drove a solid race, Speedy. I mean, I think you were also okay with Icewind letting you getting past you to recharge your ERS and stuff. And
did you see the pass on the first pass he did on me? He squeezed me quite a lot there. I was very worried.
Turn 4, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that one on board. Yeah, I saw it. That was close.
I don't know if I had it on stream, but I think I did.
But you did everything right. I mean, you recharged your ERS. You went for the undercut. So awesome job.
We're going to bring Bailey in at the same time, if that's all right.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah. Okay.
To rub it in, no. Just kidding.
Oh, he's already here.
Good timing.
Good timing.
Hello, Bailey. I mean, it was quite sad to see what happened on stream. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry that it couldn't be like that the side wasn't in Abu Dhabi. But like, maybe you can talk us through your race and then the incident that in the end decided it, basically. Like, yeah, can you maybe talk us through that?
Well, qualifying in my final run, I hit the grass through sector 1, so that ruined.
The first corner, right?
Yeah, first corner.
I've done that numerous times.
And then lap 1 I gained 2 positions, and then Danny made a mistake and I got through. I think I was stuck behind Portwell for a bit, but I managed to get past him. And then the second stint's just where it all fell apart, and I was pushing too hard. I made mistakes. I fell in the clutches of Danny, and then the incident was my fault. Really, I was desperate to stay ahead, and I just hit him in the rear and spun.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
If I can just butt in, Cursed has announced his retirement.
Oh,
Okay.
SLR or in general?
oh, only from this league or also from 2SRL?
I don't know.
Oh,
Let's
no.
Said it in
let's bring him in later.
Yeah,
um,
we should.
Yeah, what I wanted
Bailey,
to say,
Bailey, try not be
sorry.
too down on yourself because you had a really good
Yeah.
pace. And like, if we look at the championship, I missed like 2 races and you missed like 5. And like, if you were here the same amount of races I was, you would have got it. So over, I think you're the better driver.
I think, yeah, I think you shouldn't beat yourself up. I don't know if you are, but like next season is gonna be pretty exciting.
Lit.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and what
I'm
I want. Yeah, sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
quite looking forward to that one because I mean Bailey. I think if I remember correctly, you only had a seat after 4 or 5 races, and you still managed to get so close. And you're gonna be there next season
Yeah.
from the start. So I mean, maybe you can take the championship fight to Speedy and potentially copy if he's gonna
No,
drop in.
definitely. But it's gonna be Sergios Edek over again, but Bailey copy, I think. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Don't be so negative. You
Yeah,
I mean,
don't be
you're
down.
quick. You can.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Bailey
Yeah,
is
but-
incredibly quick. and
We will be
so
the
is
slow
Poppy.
ones, Speedy.
But you've
You,
beat
you should race, Jensen. You should join in.
Yeah, but I can't because of football. Otherwise, I would have been a full-time
Screw
driver.
football.
No, man, it's good for my health, and
This is good for your health, man.
Yeah.
This lovely stress-free
Yeah,
environment.
I want. Finally, I want to say one thing to Bailey. I also said it 2 times on stream already. Mad respect for finishing the race. That's great character.
Well, eventually, he kind of had a little sad cry at the end. Well, sorry, that sounds really bad.
Wow. I
Yeah.
said if you do enough to my charismation.
Yeah. No, but I really, I've really much a lot of respect for that you finished the race. I mean, it must have been going through your head. Just start, retire, bye bye. At that point.
You wanted to flex the fastest laps, I think.
one thing. When's real life qualifying starting? I don't know.
Oh, now.
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 Literally now.
Oh,
Okay, let's bring everyone in. Party.
That's great. Yeah, and let's have a little party.
Popo in.
I'll bring up my legit account up.
Oh.
Hang on.
Basically, guys, we're just bringing everyone in because we want to watch quali. So if you could be quick, that'd be good.
Yeah, I don't really want to say anything else than congratulations to Speedy for winning the championship. So that's
Hello,
nice.
Icewind. How was that
Yeah,
race
same.
for you? Good, great. Popo,
Oh,
you're the
Ice-
same. Great.
Yeah, Icewind, you can't say you're slow anymore. I'm sorry, but you
And
can't.
Speedy, you
Because-
can say you're really quick when you chop because F1 qualifying.
Yeah. I
Yes,
mean,
I'm logging in. I'm logging
yeah,
in.
I mean,
Yeah, he
for
needs to live stream.
for the fact that Icewind belongs into tier 2, he was quite quick today. Just kidding.
Oh, save me one spot for the live stream as well.
Yes, you got to donate £5.
Yes.
Live
Co-
commentary,
congrats
real
to Speedy,
live
that's all I wanna
commentary
say.
For the real life
Yeah.
qualifying.
Same. Great season.
Yeah,
But
GG.
we still have one race to go.
Icewind, really impressive that you picked up 0 warnings. I think. I didn't check the last lap.
I was surprised about that as well, but yeah.
Shall I do last
after the pit
first?
after the
Have
pit
it.
stop, I just couldn't get close down to Speedy. I think I was about 2 seconds behind him, like 21 laps or something.
Yeah, your
so-
pace was really good, and
Yeah,
what
but I
Speedy.
I was too out of battery there, and I just couldn't do anything to close him up.
But what Speedy said as well, no more sandbagging, my dude. You are too quick.
Yeah.
How is this sandbagging though?
Yeah, he's-
I'm so slow. I'm a second off in qualifying. Literally a 10th off me.
That was about 4/10 better than I've ever done.
I mean,
Well,
it's better
done
to
it.
say that you're quicker than everyone and then not be there.
Let's just
so,
keep it positive. If you do it one time, you can do it again.
yeah, I mean, you might be there next season as well. So that's gonna be also cool to watch.
You are going to beat Copy, Icewind.
Yeah. Also, I mean,
I wouldn't really.
Yeah, I have to do much, I think.
I mean, next season, I think is gonna be great. Also, I don't know if did we say it on stream? No, Astro has he had to miss out the final 2 races, but he's gonna be back for next season, so he's also still there.
Speaking of Astro, I was using his OP setup.
Oh,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't using. I didn't like your Johnson after using Astro's 1-6 wings.
Props to Chief for his birthday point, by the way.
Yeah, OceanChief got us, but you know, I jinxed Bailey because I said, guys, who do you think is gonna die in the top 10? Because Ocean's in P11, and then Bailey crashed. Anyway, I think we should wrap up the stream.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys over to us.
Bailey, Thimo will send you a video of him doing a shoey to make up for it.
No!
You should expect it Wednesday at the latest.
Yeah, I'm 19 and I probably can't explain that to my parents while you could. So, see ya. Tune in for Assetto Corsa in like an hour. It's gonna start at 1:15 wherever you live in 1 hour. Let's just say that. And after that, on Sunday there's 2 Sorel. Next week we're gonna have the season finales of 2 Sorel and SLR. So see you for that. Thanks for watching, guys.
As
Goodbye.
Russell is
and happy birthday to OceanChief.
onto the track. Sorry, I'm still the same.